You won't pay me? All it took was 1 tube of superglue. Client didn't pay me, so I destroyed all the work I did for him with 1 tube of superglue. I'm a handyman on the weekends to get me out of my everyday office and to feel like I'm actually producing something. Picture a compromise of office space. I've been doing handyman work for about 15 years on and off, and I'm really good at it. So I get a client who lives in Chicago and wants me to do some handyman work at some vacation rentals he owns in Hawaii. I agree, get a retainer and a service contract signed, and get to work. I usually do about 3 to 4 hours of handyman work each weekend, but this guy starts giving me work to do in the vicinity of 12 to 18 hours per weekend. And not handyman work, but errands and assistant work. This is not what I signed up for, but he's paying me, so whatever. I figure I'll get his properties up to par within a few months at this rate, and then it will be a simple hour or two a weekend to maintain. Unfortunately, his retainer runs out in about a month, so I send an invoice and a request for more funds, and for the next 2 weeks I keep getting crappy answers. One day he says he wrote the check, the next week he says he finally sent it, a few days later he says he wired it to my account, and more. After a month of this, I'm fed up. I sent him a final invoice for all the work with a notification that all work will cease until payment and a full retainer is paid, as stipulated in the contract. A few days go by, and I get payment for less than half the invoiced amount, as well as an edited invoice. He feels he shouldn't have to pay for a bunch of the stuff because he could do it if he lived here. Fine. I re-edit the invoice, noting a bunch of stuff is paid and the remainder is unpaid, will return materials or return to original condition unless payment is made. All of the items under this heading are small, such as door locks, cable wires, circuit breakers, and more. No. Word back after a week. Second notice sent. No word back. Final notice sent. He finally sends back that he paid what he was going to pay. I'm normally a very nice guy. If he had said that he was low on funds and maybe do a trade or help a guy out, it would have been no problem. But treat me like what I do isn't valuable, and we have a problem. So, I go buy a $5 tube of superglue, head up to the house, and get to work. Superglue in the locks of the sliding doors, keeping them locked. Superglue the front door locks, keeping them unlockable. Superglue the window hardware to lock them closed. 1 or 2 dabs on each fan I repaired, a few switches, a few circuit breakers in the off position, and finally the cable for the internet. I made sure it was only things I had repaired or fixed, but after 30 minutes, this place was essentially an unlivable sauna of Stone Age hell. $5 and an hour well spent.